Taking this blindfold off to see what this life's all about. Threw my virtues to the ground, drinking from the devil's cup. Take that pill, drink it down, flashing lights all around. High as hell, drunk like I finally don't give a fuck. 'Cause I'm breaking all the rules tonight. Not going down without a fight. As long as I'm still breathing, doesn't matter how hard you might try. We can take this freedom. Waking up.
Hey everyone, this is Overpass Live. My name is Eric and I make apps. I hope you guys all had a great week. It's been a pretty nice week. In the UK it was a 4-day week, so we had Monday off for it was just early bank holiday Monday. So although I was in the office and I did have a few calls on Monday, it was still kind of a nice nice short week for us over here. All right, so the live stream, for those of you guys who are new here, is and most of you guys aren't new here. You guys, I see all the same faces. But the live stream is where we just have a chat. We talk about stuff. We talk about what's new this week, what's in the news, what's new in terms of Android or iPhone. We look at other people's apps, that kind of stuff, and we just have a chat. We have nothing really planned, but there are a few things I'd like to talk about. Last week I talked about how I was asked to write an Android 10 book, and I said I'm totally gonna do it. I've always wanted to write a book. I'm gonna do it. This is like a really good opportunity, and I kind of went cold on the idea after a few days. I started to think about it a bit more, and in the end I declined. I declined it. I thought about over the next 6 months it would be like a lot of work. I don't have the free time to do it, and I started thinking about it. Like, I've always wanted to write a book, and the idea of writing a computer book would be cool. It would be cool in the fact that if somebody said, "Hey, do you know Android?" I go, "Do I know Android? Look at this." I would carry it around with me everywhere and show Android 10, Mastering Android 10 by Eric Ruley. But then I would think it would be very dry and boring. And I read a lot of computer books, and I don't find them dry and boring, but it's also like to tell you the truth, there's very few computer books where I can remember the author of them. I can remember just a few of them, and I thought, you know what, I do want to write one day, but this is just it's a distraction. It's a shiny thing that pulls me off what I'm working on. So anyway, I wanted to put that first thing here. And then this week, of course, we had Google I/O, which I'm sure we'll talk about today, even though I'm not really fully up to speed on it. I feel like I've come to the live stream without having done my homework. Like, I should have watched every single stream, and even the keynote I haven't made myself all the way through yet. But anyway, Mega Man, thanks for being first, and Rodrigo second. Alex Davies, hey, how's it going? Rodrigo says, could have been first, but was thinking about leaving. Maybe I was thinking about leaving. Hi, y'all. Hopefully you guys can all hear me. Leandro, hey, from Brazil. So one of my goals is to visit Brazil, like, in the next year. I don't know why. I've always wanted to. I guess I haven't always wanted to. It just looks like such a nice place. Aiden Mack, hey, how's it going? Hussein Gokas, how's it going? CH Development, Tom Franson. Tom, are you new here? Let's see. Rodrigo, got an idea to finish. Got an app to finish to be used tonight. It barely works. What do you mean it needs to be used tonight? I've had deadlines like that. Hi from my Pixel 3a. All right, Aiden, you have to tell me how the Pixel 3a is, because that was one of the things that I got out of the. That's one of the things I get out of Google I/O. Every time I watch Google I/O and they talk about the new features, like, a lot of them are going to be available on iPhone, but I've got this stupid iPhone. I am not a Mac. I'm not an Apple fanboy, and every time I see this, I've been thinking about getting a Pixel for the last few years. And, just because to get back into the Google ecosystem, I hate using Apple Music, I hate using Siri, I hate using all that kind of stuff. I want to get back into it, and then every time I see Google I/O and all the stuff they have, like the Street View where you can see the turn by turn, I'm looking at that and I'm just geeking out on it. Oh, that would be so awesome. So I'm thinking about getting the 3A just because it's cheaper than the full one. There's one thing about being a developer, like it's very tempting to get like the high end equipment, like you need like a high end Mac if you're going to do it, just for compilation, for compiling code and everything like that. But when you're testing stuff out, the last thing you want is a super powerful phone. So if it is a bit lower end, but when I look at the specs, it actually looks pretty good. So I'm thinking about the 3A. So anyway, Aiden, let's know how that works out for you. Safe Karachi says, hey, thank you for the effort so much. Hey, no problem. Making English fun. Hello, all. Hey. CH Development says, Eric, FYI, for some reason the live stream does not show on your YouTube page. It doesn't? But did the notification. It's not showing on the YouTube page? Okay. Well, I'll have to figure out why that is. Let's see. We've got Chord Funk. Hey, Chord Funk's here. Alex Davies says, hey, Eric, has anyone ever cloned one of your apps or used one of your APIs? If so, what did you do? Yes. Okay, we'll come back to that one. Yeah, I've got a couple stories about that. I've got cloned, like, in terms of black box, just sort of reskinning it. Dude, I got loads of those. I've done so many videos about that. I'm always talking about the copycats. But I did have it once where they took it and cloned it and actually somehow decompiled. This was before I was using safeguard, right guard, whatever it was. The ProGuard. Before I was using ProGuard, and even sometimes I think when I compile, I might remove ProGuard depending on stuff. But yeah, I have had it like removed. So one time I was like looking at my stats and I realized I had like a lot of, like a big spike in downloads on my Google Analytics. So I was using Google Analytics at the time, and then I noticed they were all from China, and I started looking at it, and then I realized that the package name had like an extension to it. So it was like com.microphone.earspy. Something else. And so I Googled that, and then I found a Chinese website which had my app on it. I mean, and I don't mean like my app, like they took the icon or they took the screenshots. They actually had the app, right? And they somehow decompiled it. I mean, I was still getting the ad revenue for it. I mean, so it wasn't so bad, but it was still like I contact it was I think it was HIAPK, high APK that I had to contact, and they did transfer it back over to me. But that was the only time where they've actually done that. And in terms of APIs, I don't have too much where I have to worry about the APIs in the back end. But I have spoken to other people who have had that happen. And it's a scary proposition, something where you can go through and put a browser sniffer through. I mean, if you're clever enough to be able to run it and see the HTTP traffic going back and forth and being able to decipher it. And I suppose if you did something like you connect with, like there's Charles on the Mac, and I know I used to use Fiddler on Windows. But I don't know if that would work if you connected a mobile device to it. But I'm sure there's ways of doing it, of just watching those HTTP traffic going back and forth. I do it all the time in debug mode for certain applications, but I don't know if you have an actual compiled signed one, how easy it is. Rob Ron says, hi, Eric, I made a demo game. Please do check it out. Okay, we'll have a look at this one in a minute, Rob. First, let's just finish saying hello to everybody. Azimuth, hey, how's it going? Retro Portal Studio, your videos are so helpful. Thank you very much, Retro Portal Studio. Rick Calvert, hey, how's it going? Let's see. We'll go through. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is take a look at Rav Ron's application here. So, and we're going to work our way down we're going to work our way down the stream. Just the same way we do every week. So again, I apologize if it takes me a while to get to the questions and stuff. But so have a look at my screen here. Oh, let's see. Is it going to be the right screen share? Nope, wrong one. Just a moment. Let's move this up to the wrong screen. Okay, so this is Super Devils Adventures 2019, Super Angry Devils. So by Rav Rons. We've got 11 reviews, all 5 stars. Nicely done. Just if it's only 11, my assumption going to it is that you know all the people, which is fair play. I mean, you should do that. You should get your friends to do it if you can do that. But it might not be the case. And then we've got 14 megabytes. We have 10 plus installs and 11 reviews. I mean, that's actually, yeah, I would assume that you're just starting out. To me, it looks really good. I like the icon. It's very, you're using super twice in the title. Angry Devils. And again, like we talk a lot about when we look at games, not entirely sure what's the best way to. Oh, there's no audio. Is there no audio on this? Or am I just not getting that right? Okay, yeah. So that you have a video, but we don't have any audio. And I would think that again, I would go with doctoring the screenshots. Look at it's when did you release this? You released this just well, a month ago. So we might be able to see it on App Annie. Let's do that. Although I don't want to spend too much. Let's do that. App Annie. So this is Super Devil's Adventures. Oh, log in. So log in. We'll look at Super Devil's Adventures. There we go. And look at ASO. So I mean, the thing with doing a game, and I always talk about this, is I don't really know what the best keywords are for games because I don't know what people search. And you will know better if you're able to look at your Google Play analytics to find out what people are searching for. So you're so you have your ranking. It shows marzipan for some reason. Let's go through and look at United States. So yeah, for some reason it's showing marzipan as the only word that you're potentially ranking for, and out of 228. So I think this is one of the things you need to look at and think about the first thing. Look at your Google Play analytics, your Google Play acquisition report to find out where people are finding it. I think that would be the first thing, Rav, to have a look at. And to give you an idea of what that looks like, let me just go through and bring up my Google Play page here. And please disregard all the policy violations and stuff like that. I've got a few that I need to really sort out, but let's just go through and look at my big one over here. Super Agent. By the way, my ranking, my overall rating went up, and I'm doing a video about that tomorrow, so we'll have a look at that. But the big thing is to look over here at user acquisition, look at your acquisition reports, and this is really going to tell you at what stage you need to focus on. So you're going to have, and I've done a video about this in the past, you have the store listing visitors. So how many times is your page actually showing up in search, and how many times? I mean, unlike the App Store, the Apple App Store, you don't see how many times it's showing up in search, but you do see how many times people are visiting it. So if this number is low, then you need to look at your icon, your title, and the keyword. So it's not showing up in search for whatever reason. People aren't finding it. They're not actually getting to it. And then at that point, you're thinking, if 34,000 people, out of those, how many people are actually installing it? And this, like in this case, I only get like 25% of people who visit the page are actually saying, yeah, okay, I'll download it, and then they'll make that download decision, right? And so that's thinking about, they're looking at the play page, they're looking at the screenshots, they're looking at the description, they're actually making that decision, oh, do I want to do this? And that's where the screenshots are the most important. The next stage is actually in the app making the purchase, and that's all inside. Are they able to find the in-app purchases? Are the in-app purchases worth purchasing? And then the repeat buyers are, how many things. So for me, it's not that great here, but so that's it. So hopefully, Rav, that's helpful. Let's go back to the thing. So let's see. CH Development says, watched your video today about your first app money is the most important from about a year or so ago, and it is more relevant now than ever. Yeah, that's it. If you've, it's like just getting that little bit. It's like getting that little trickle of water that comes in. You think, like if you were, I guess, searching for gold. If you were like looking for gold, and then you were just looking and digging and you didn't find anything, you're gonna give up, right? But if you found like a little bit of gold, just a little tiny bit, there's more around here. Or if you're digging a well and you saw a trickle of water, you know that you're on the right track, and it gives you a little bit more motivation to go. And it's almost like it's worth more than then later on, for like going from zero to $1 a day is probably better than going from, $10 a day to $15 a day. It's that, oh, hey, this will work. This could work. I just need to figure out what do I need to do differently to get this to work. So yeah, I still think that's the case. We've all done that. We've done things where, like for me, just recently, a few months ago, doing Facebook ads. I've read so much about Facebook ads. I think I want to do Facebook ads and bring lots of, like, all these leads in through Facebook targeted marketing, and not for the apps, but for the company. So I created a Facebook ad. I did the landing page. I did all the things you're supposed to do. Nothing. Or putting the t-shirts on the site, right? So I think we sold maybe 2 t-shirts from the YouTube channel, the ones that are below the videos. Maybe sold 2, right? It's like, it's not worth doing. And it's like, and I think we sold 1 that was not me, actually, which was nice. Whoever it was out there, thank you so much. But it was thrilling. But then it's like, you're thinking, despite what everybody tells you, despite what everybody's trying to sell you on, this doesn't work as easy as you thought, or it's either not as easy as you thought. They're all lying to you, which is very possible. They're all trying to hype it up to you, or you're just doing it wrong, right? So, and this is one of the things that I think it'd be very easy if you have an app on the App Store or on Google Play, and like nobody's downloading it. You think, oh, it's just a sham. All these people telling me I should do an app, right? And then I put it out there, nobody downloads it. You just can't make it work these days. But you can. It's like, you just have to think about it. It's not a magic thing. It's a product that you're putting onto the market, and you have to think, just like every other product, you have to think, how do I stand out from the rest? How do people find it? Etc. 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 And don't give up. So let's see. Yo, Eric, I know you like JavaScript. Did you see the Dart talk? Now Dart have spread operators. So no, I didn't. I saw it on there. So all the Flutter, all the Google I/O talks. God, it's been a busy week. I keep seeing them come up, and I think, you know what, I should just, I should, one of these days, one of these years, I'm gonna go to. I want to see if I could get into Google I/O. Pay whatever it is, have to go fly out there and do it, because I think that would be really, really cool. I haven't even watched all of the keynote yet. That's what I say when I feel like I haven't done enough homework. But yeah, I'm more of a JavaScript guy. But let's see. Tom Franson says, well, following you about a couple of weeks, I do like your streams. Thanks. We do have a lot in common. Developer myself. I had an employee last year, but not anymore. Have a new office since this month. Wow, Tom, it sounds like we're exactly the same. This is another thing. It's like stumbling and trying to think, hiring somebody, and making it work, making those mistakes, and then, but I know that's the course to go through. So I gotta think, what did I, how can I do things better? How can we do this? But I have the overseas team, which I've had for years. In fact, next week I'm having my designer, who left last year. She's coming back on a part-time basis, which I'm really thrilled about. But that's a little bit more low risk. Like, it's more low risk when you have an overseas team, because it's less money to spend. It's if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's more difficult when you have somebody actually there. But yeah, Tom, sounds like we're the same. Aiden Mac says the AR in the walking directions works, and it's really good. Now, this is one thing I never thought I would use so often, but I'm like, even just earlier this week, I was in London. I'm walking around, and that little blue dot, for some reason on Google Maps, the little blue dot is really good with walking directions, but I don't know how I'm supposed to hold the phone, because that blue dot is never facing in the way that it's supposed to go. Like, I'll start walking and I'll start moving where the thing moves. I don't know, am I supposed to hold a portrait, landscape? What am I supposed to do? And it's just this one thing. I'm sure it's easy, but I never think to look that up before I actually go out someplace. Tom says, I recognize all the issues and struggles you've had. Good. I'm glad it's not just me. Jeff King says, hey, Eric, I missed your daily videos. Are you able to work more on your own stuff now? Were those videos taking too much of your time to make? No, Jeff, it wasn't so much taking so much of my time to make. And I keep thinking about going back. Even today, I thought of like loads of things I could talk about. And I nearly just, thought I'll just do like 3 videos today. And I did 1. And I think I'm just kind of getting out of practice. It was more it wasn't so much that it was taking so much of my time, because it was the most fun that I had. Like, I will make the time to do it, and that, but it was more. I kind of got the feeling that everybody was getting tired of it, and I was running out of stuff to talk about. Or it wasn't so much I was running out of stuff, because I think I could talk every day. But it was like whenever I'd say something that I'd talk about a topic I talked about before, somebody would always go, "You've already talked about this already, right?" I can't remember talking about that. The amount of times I thought of something, I know what I'll talk about. I'll talk about this. This has been on my mind for ages, and I completely forgot that I've already done a video about that, and that got a little bit difficult. And we're just talking about with members on the team, says maybe you're doing too much. The people who are watching, they're not able to just focus on one, and what I wanted to do was to put a little bit more effort into them, but it was like I said, though, I did the one a few weeks ago on dialogue flow, which I thought was good, but then I kept doing take after take. You know, if you do anything on video, at least for me, I always have camera trouble or microphone trouble, and you have to redo it again and again, and it just stopped being fun, because all of a sudden I was like, I'm going to teach something, and rather than we're just going to have a chat about something. And I think it's more fun just to have a chat about something, right? I'm a developer, you're a developer, we're developers, right? Let's talk about developer stuff, like as if we were sitting at a table, like in a workplace or something. One of the best contracts I worked at was working at BBC in London, and I'd say it was best because, like, unlike other contracts where a lot of the developers were this is a generalization, it's not really true, but it's not like there were some developers who were just hardcore developers. They'll talk about it all day long, but a lot of people were like, oh, I'm a coder in by daytime, but I've got my hobbies at night or whatever. But at BBC, I met some people who were like, they were talking about code all the time. So you go to lunch, and they were talking about the latest technologies. Like, hey, did you see the Google I/O? And that stuff was interesting to me. It was like almost like there's nobody else in the world you could talk to this stuff about except those few people, and that was rare. So that was kind of, I think that's more fun. That's why I like the live streams. Let's just geek out and talk about technical stuff, or working for different companies, or just the type of stuff that we go through. And I could do it. Jeff, I could do it again. I could go daily again. I mean, and the amount of times I've been tempted to do it, I mean, thinking, God, you know what? Maybe I should just, because it's getting out of the habit of doing it. It's almost like getting lazy. It was easier to, like, you force yourself to get up, think, oh, I should go do a video. I've got plenty of ideas. I should go out and film this thing, rather than I'll just sit on the couch because I don't need to do one until Tuesday anyway. If that makes sense. Ada Max says, there are a lot of iPhone X gestures. Yeah, I have an iPhone 8. Aiden. So, Wi-Fi blocker. You, Eric. Pixel 3a is good. Got it. Android Q testing. They've taken away Wi-Fi APIs for security reasons, like Apple did. Okay. Cool. Mega Man says Pixel 3a is a perfect price point for a flagship-ish phone. I think I'm gonna have to get one. I mean, I'm at the point. My Android test phone is still this Nexus 6P. It's a Nexus phone, but yeah, I think I really like the whole Google ecosystem, especially when I get all excited about after Google I/O. I think all the things I would like to get involved with. But don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a lot to be said about the iPhone. I'm not a big iPhone fan, but hardware-wise, it's a really good phone. I think it's sleek. It feels nice in your hand. Like my iPhone 8, when I got it, I thought, actually, this is pretty nice. Except it's the whole Apple ethos and everything. I'm not really too big on. I don't think they're as developer-friendly as they should be. And that's something that bothers me. I think that's going to hold them back in terms of apps and stuff. But they're doing all right. Although, like we said in the video this week, it was in the news last week, 17% drop in sales last year. So Harsh Sharma says, Eric, please review my app too, please. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's go open this in a new tab. So we're going to look at this one for Harsh Sharma. And this is Bhagavad Gita. Is it Gita or Gita? I've heard people say it before, and I just let's see. Okay, so it's an online book. App features, list of chapters, choose a theme, jump to any Scola, dark theme. Okay, so now from my point of view, and everybody jump in here, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom so I don't miss anything here. Harsh, it's not, I think the icon, I don't know if that could be better or if that's how that works. Again, it's not what we like, but it's not what I like, it's what works. But let's have a quick look at, I just want to do a search on that because it seems like that might be a very busy topic. So let's go to apps. So yeah, if I look at it, we see a lot of competition here. And I'm trying to think which icon would work the best. Wow, there's a lot of competition. But let's go back to this. So I mean, let's say that this is not relevant. So if you advertising, this might not be so relevant, but you have to think about when people look at the icons. So if I look at this, Harsh Sharma, and then we've got the screenshot. So if my big concern with this would be the searchability. If somebody's searching for it, what would they be searching on? And is there something that you could have them search on that's not the title? Because if they search on the title, you're not even ranking there. But then we have the video here. Let's see. And again, is there no audio, or there might be something wrong with my computer, or do we just not have audio on this? Cool. I like the transitions on this. This looks pretty cool. Let's see. So, and then you got app feature. So I think let's have a look at the screenshots, because this is something, again, this is like, if they can't find it through search, are they actually going to get to this point? But if they do, let's have a look at we have app features, list of chapters, choose a theme, jump to any dark theme, progress report. So what you're saying, you're listing the features at the top, and if somebody finds it, is that what they're going to be interested in? So app features it's not a feature. You're just listing the features, showing what it is, and you're basically it's almost like a caption rather than a bit of sales copy. So like even if you were going to change the language, it would be like, choose from several different features, even though but something more like what the feature is, I would think be better. List of chapters, so it'd be choose from different chapters. So what you're trying to do is say what they can do with the application. Choose a theme, or dozens of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, dozen themes to choose from, right? Something like that. So completely customizable, something like that. So you're looking at, if you're going to do that, jump to any. So dark theme, dark theme. But rather than say dark theme, if you know the benefits of dark theme, then that's going to be useful to you. If you don't, you could say, rest your eyes with dark. I mean, just say something. Rest your eyes with dark theme. Read in bed. With dark theme. Whatever it is that you could do, some of the benefits of it. Because if we push the benefits rather than the features, if they don't know what the features are for, then that would be it. So a lot of things, like I hate to say I don't know very much about the Bhagavad Gita, so I don't know. So like if I was a user, how would this be sold to me? How would it be? You have I changed multiple languages here too. So if I was somebody to land on this, how would that sell it to me? But I might not be your target user. So it's like thinking about your target user. If it's somebody who's going to be looking for this, then you have to think, what would they be searching on that would not be the title, right? Or if there's somebody else, then would they find this? Would that be something that they do? If that makes sense. The rest of you guys, let me know what you think here. So let's go back to over third. Okay, let's see. Rodrigo says, I remember using Charles Proxy with Android. Not sure how I did that in the past. Yeah, using it. So that's one of the tools that every developer needs to know how to use. They need to have some sort of HTTP packet sniffer. And Charles is one for the Mac. I don't know. I used to use one called it's not Flutter. God, what am I? What's the one for? I said it earlier. The one for Windows, and it's an old one. God, but it's like you could set it up so you just watch all the HTTP packets going back and forth. I used to work with a bunch of web developers, and we had all this Ajax stuff, and every developer on the team was setting. They didn't even know how to use console.log. Everybody was just using alerts, like alert to debug these kind of things. So you make a call to the server, you get the response back, you do alert, right? Nobody knew how to examine the HTTP packets going back and forth. Of course, now it's easy. You don't really need it so much anymore in a browser because it's part of the networks tab on the developer tools. But back in the day, we didn't really have those, so we had to run all these other tools. And doing mobile apps, you kind of have to use those too, unless you're using it like a if you're using an Ionic or Cordova based app, you could connect as a remote device and then watch that traffic go back and forth. But it's like so useful. But putting like an alert box like in a callback in a loop, and you're just like, if you've ever done this like development where you have like an alert in a loop and you're just like going okay. They go through it like 1,000 items. That's painful. But until you learn how to do console.log, and then everything's good. But again, things have changed a lot. Things have changed a lot in my long experience as a developer. Let's see. Retro Portal Studio says, I have an app here. I would really like your review on this. Waiting since your last live. Oh, yeah, sure. Great. So this is Retro Portal Studio. Let's have a look at this one. Everybody, don't be shy. Let Retro Portal Studio know what you think here. This is called Uphill Battle. It's loading. Here we go. Uphill Battle. It's a game. We've got 18 reviews. Help Jack in saving his island from enemy troops. Help Jack jump and pass the infinite fire launchers. Keep up your pace. Don't waste any time for this one. The only rules you need to know about. Cool. All right. And then we've got good reviews. We've got 18 reviews. We've got 500 plus installs, so it's not too bad. And it came out last August. Cool. So, so for me personally, I like the icon. Uphill Battle sounds good. I don't know if you have room for a subtitle. It depends on what people are searching for, but we'll have a look at it on App Annie too. And then let's have a look at the video. Yeah, there we go. See, audio. Audio makes all the difference, guys. Let's see. Especially since you got game audio anyway, you might as well use it. Cool. I was gonna say. It was like to me, it looks good. Let's have a look at it on App Annie. And see how it's doing there. So I think we could just go place that in a query string. So look at the ASO for this one. So we got Uphill Battle. You're ranking number 1 for Uphill Battle, but it's kind of what people uphills. What other kind of things will we do? So I'm surprised there's very few things here that it's considering to be ranking for. Let's have a look at another country. Let's look at United Kingdom. Uphills. So United States. So let's just do a few. Endless. And again, I'm making assumptions here. Retro Portal Studio, so I don't like it. I am not an expert. Oh, by the way, I haven't said this in a while, but I'm not an expert. We're just developers chatting, right? So so you gotta take that with a platformer. I'm gonna put platformer. So, and what else can we do? Jump. So we got jump. Let's take a look at some of the keywords that we're actually looking at here. Rather than, so we got uphill, we got battle, jump, island, enemy, troops, fire launcher, pass, infinite, awesome. Cool. So I think for me, the whole thing is thinking about what would people search to find this. If I look at this uphill battle, let's do a search for uphill battle. And we see uphill battle. So you got the top one on there. Uphill thrust. So you got 500 plus. I think it looks really good. I think that I would imagine that the big problem would be discoverability, getting people to find it. If we go back to that, if we go back and look at the acquisition reports, like how many people are actually making it to this page. If you're not getting very many to this page, then we have to look at the title and the icon and think, you know, what are people searching for? And it might be that if there's something similar, like if you were able to find something that people who like this game will like this game, then maybe you could somehow target them. You couldn't target them in your title, obviously, or your description, but you might be able to do like a Facebook targeting campaign or something like that. But that's just me. I think it looks really good. But what do the rest of you guys think? Is anybody answering it? Is anybody giving their opinions here? Okay, cool. I like how the video zoom. I like how the CH development. I like how the video zoomed too, because it looked like it was going to keep going like that. I thought maybe you should change scenes just from a video point of view, but I did like the way it backed out. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. A Fiddler. Yeah, Tom, it was Fiddler. God, that was it. Fiddler. Thank you. Let's see. Fiddler. Fiddler was a Windows app that I used to use, and I think it's still there. But because I've been on a Mac, because I've been on a Mac, I've been on this exile from Windows since I started doing app development. Let's see. What else we got? Making English Fun says, I got one in beta as I'm having IAP issues. Could you take a look at it? Okay, so we're gonna have a look at Make English Fun's application, which is in beta. Let's see. This is called Swing and Slide. Cool. Swing and Slide, ABC and phonics games unreleased. So it's a learning game. I guess meant for kids. Short vowel sounds, CVC words. So you just jump straight into it, which is probably a good thing, because I think these are really good keywords to have here. CVC, swinging games. So it's still, we're looking at 1+ installs, but it's still in beta. So I think, so there's not so much to say in terms of like rankings and stuff, but I think it looks really cool. I like the icon. Jungle, ABC, and phonics. I think that looks good. I think this is a really nice looking game. I mean, for kids, I think it looks better than a lot of mine. It's better than most of mine. Let's see, but let's go through. I would say you could go through and add some text to the screenshots, but I think it looks good. But that's just my. So let's have a look at the video. Oh wait. Strummy guitar music? Really? This is my personal pet peeve. Jing 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 jing. But it's not bad. Most app videos seem to have that music. This is a really good looking video. Is there any way to get rid of that? Is that part of the recorder app you do? I've always had difficulty recording an Android screen. I've used so many different tools to do it. Now I try to do my videos on iPhone, because then at least I can use QuickTime Player and do that for free. I think it looks really good. What do the rest of you guys think? Let's see. Let's have a look at. So we've got Eric is also live on Twitter. Follow him at Overpass Limited, and also on Facebook. Thank you. That would probably be Neil who put that in there. Let's see. Bizwajit, hey, how's it going? Ada Max says, I've updated an old app, so lots of bad reviews, but lots of good ones too. But check it out and let me know what you think. All right, let's have a look. So this is one of the things we're talking about on tomorrow's video, about how Google Play is updating their rankings, or their ratings. Sorry, their ranking. They're updating the ratings method. So if you looked at Google Play Developer Console, you can see that they've done that, and they're weighting it more towards more recent reviews. So if you do have like a one with bad reviews in the past, it might actually help you out going forward. Let's see, we got. But if it doesn't, I mean, I would just think just reskin it, remove one, and then add it again. If you need to do that restart, I don't know how well that would work. Just shake off all those old reviews, but if you have some good ones, then yeah, you don't want to lose those. And also all the backlinks and everything like that. It's more trouble than it's worth. Maybe just bring it up. So let's see. 2019 Talking Pictures X 10. A voice in nonverbal. A voice for nonverbal. So easy to use anytime, anywhere. Aimed for nonverbal children with spectrum of autism. Oh, cool. Cool. Hang on a second. Aimed at nonverbal children in the spectrum of autism and anyone who can benefit from visual communication. Cool. So my question to you is, if someone was searching for this because they do have a child with autism and this would be helpful for them, that sounds like something they would be searching for. But the first time we actually mention it in a non-screenshot that's indexable, yeah, so that in the index it would be here. So if I was to search on some of these ones, and I'm not saying to put it into the title because that might be a little too, like, depending if you think that's I'm wondering if Google Play would have a problem with that or not. I'm wondering if Google Play would have a problem or not, if you would have a problem with that in terms of if it's too pandering, like. But at the same time, I would think that would be important. So let's have a look for autism, and we see there's a lot of applications that come up. But I mean, thinking in terms of, would somebody who has a child with autism, would they know to look for a nonverbal, a voice for nonverbal? Actually, how does it help? Editable in pictures. I'm trying to think. And again, I think it would depend on the parent. What would the parent be looking for? It looks cool. That looks a little bit like the Microsoft Office logo, the old Office logo back in the day. But what do the rest of you guys think here? Let's see. Jefferson Rocha, hey, I need transform education investment in money income. I need transform education investment in money income. Okay. Ada Max says, okay, so let's see. Tim says, hey, Eric. Hey, Tim, how's it going? Cord Funk says, Mac, I don't think the new one have audio. They have audio. You mean talking about Macs have audio. Cord Funk says, how is your Flutter journey going? Done any Flutter projects yet? So I've got 2 projects on. So I'm thinking about doing a project in Flutter which has come through. It's a game. So I have a game that I'm due to start. This is one of the ones where I'm thinking, do I give this to somebody else or do this one on my own? I'm thinking about doing it on my own, and I'm thinking about doing it in Corona because that's what I know really well, and I know I could do it very quickly in Corona. But at the same time, I'm also really, really busy, and it's also a good opportunity for me to learn some Flutter. So I did, crank up the Flutter this week, open up VS Code, create a Flutter application, looking at how would we do this, because Flutter has a high frame rate of 60 frames per second, and I started doing it that way, but then so other things come up, meetings and stuff, so I didn't get very far. But that's something I'm thinking about doing this next week, just getting through there. I mean, I've watched so much on it, especially those are the Google I/O things I did watch this week were about Flutter, and there was a good one on Flutter for the desktop and everything. So it's really I think I'm at the point now where it's getting a bit ridiculous how long it's taking me to actually get stuck into it. I'm always sitting on the fence as to whether or not I should be doing this or I should be giving it to another developer. But then I give it to a developer, and that if they take too long, or if I think I just get frustrated, and I don't like the idea of giving a project to somebody when I don't know how to do it myself. And it's almost like the first one I think I should do on my own. So yeah, to answer your question, Cord Funk, I'm working on it. It's really something I definitely want to do, and it's all the other priorities and stuff too. But I need to get to that point. I can't be like, I have all these videos about Flutter, and I'm like, so what do you think about this function or whatever? I'm like, oh, I don't know anything. So I need to get into it. But I've done so many like test projects, like up to a certain point where like, how would I write to the SQLite database? How would I create a local SQLite database and connect to either? So I did one where I connected to an API which was written in, that API engine. It's not Keystone. It's the other one that's come out since then. So I did one in that, and I did one in Firebase. But it's not to completion. It's just like, because I get to the point where I need to get a designer. Need to get my designer to give me some buttons to do stuff. I mean, there's a lot you can do with design in terms of the styling using Dart, right? And it's so customizable. But some things you just want to have a graphic image, like the title image, maybe some buttons I might want to have as images as opposed to that. And although you could use, was it not icons? What's the icons? Awesome icons and stuff. But let's see. Cyprian Turchu says, how long does it take you to build an average app? Well, I never build an average app. Would you build a game on Flutter, or have you done so far? So yeah, this is what I was looking into, a game on Flutter. So there's a few different frameworks out there, but they seem to be really small. Like there's Flame on Flutter, and there's a few like a Sprite thing. So you're really thinking about if the frame rate is fast enough, the only reason you would need a game framework is if you wanted to do the game loop yourself. So and I learned this from JavaScript. I think the first I ever learned about any games was a JavaScript tutorial that I did, and it wasn't using a framework. It was just a case of you have a loop. The loop was in terms of set timeout and redraw this canvas, and it would just go redraw the canvas over and over and over again, and then every single object would object oriented. So you have a player object that you create, and it would have a render method, and it would have a move up method and move down, which would just set this.x is equal to this.x plus 1 or whatever, however fast you're going to move it. You have the velocity of that, and then as you get more involved with it, so every game loop would be going through and calling all of those objects that you have instantiated and call either move up, move down, and render. And or no, it would be move up, move down if that's the player control. Other ones would do it. So every object would have an idea of where the other objects were on the board. So that's how you could go to, if player.x is less than, then I would move left, so that way you're following the player. Or if you're going back and forth, you would just do that way. So you don't actually need a game framework if you were going to do it yourself. However, a game framework makes it easier. Using something like Corona, where you don't have to think about the game loop, you could just say transition to and move from this end of the screen to the other end of the screen, and I'm sure Unity does the same kind of thing. So, and again, if I'm wrong on that, just say something. Dolly Advertising says, hi, I tried to change the age rating on Google Console, but it doesn't change. What to do? What do you mean it doesn't change? It should do, right? I've never actually tried to change it. Let's see. Phoenix X3 says, hi, why my high-res 512 icon looks like blurry in Google Play app? I don't know. Should we have a look at it? You want to send it through? Bizwajit says, please look at the keywords for ASO for Dark Space Legends in App Annie. Okay, so let's have a look. We're going to look at this one for Biswajit. I think we looked at this one last week. So let's have a look at Dark Space Legends. So yeah, we did look at this one last week. So we've got these. So you haven't changed your screenshots, so have you? Biswajit said, oh, but it's unreleased. Will it actually be an app, Annie? Let's go back. Dark Space Legends. I'm not sure if an unreleased application will show up here, but we can have a look. Oh, it does. Okay, so you rank number 1 for Dark Space Legends. You rank number 3 for Space Legends. Dark Space 5. Dark Legends. That's actually doesn't look too bad to me. I'm trying to think if that's what people would search on. Space Shooter, you rank 148, which can't be that bad. I mean, out of 218. Thorium, Space Shooter, you rank 153. I mean, it's not great, but I mean, you're on the board. I mean, that seems like, oh, Space Shooter. Space Shooter, I would imagine it'd be really complicated to get that high on that. I would imagine that'd be a very competitive keyword. Arcane Legends. Yeah, so that's that. Let's see. Code with ABHI says, entrepreneur. So Code with ABHI, is this something you want us to have a look at? It's at Amazon. Is this a book? A new tab. Let's go. Let's have a quick look at it first. My productivity manager. Oh, it's an app. Okay, so let's have a look at. So this is a Amazon app from Code with ABHI. So this is my productivity manager, and hang on. All right. So again, it's been a while since I posted to the Amazon App Store. Is this the Amazon App Store, or is this just the screenshots look a bit like a bit squat? You know what these screenshots? This looks like to me is that you resize the screenshot and you got the width and the height confused. I know because I've done that loads of times before. I use something like Image Magic or use convert function in a terminal when I resize my icons for my screenshots, and if I get the width and height wrong, then that has. So that's something you might want to have a quick look at, but I'm not sure about the rest of it. Let's see. So let's go to Be Smart says, hey Eric, how to get most effective keywords from other apps ranked in the top 10? Well, you could get the keywords, but just because you can get their keywords doesn't mean you're going to be able to rank for them. Be Smart. So one of the tools I use is App Annie. So if you were to look at the top 10 and then go through and look through the ASO on App Annie, you'll see how they rank. But just they don't rank well on those keywords because they put those keywords there. I mean, they kind of do, but there's other factors at play too, like the number of ratings and reviews they have, the number of downloads they have, the retention rate, the number of backlinks. There's so many things that go into it. Like if you and we both started our app on the same day and our target keyword was Space Shooter, right? And you and I were both there. It wouldn't be like if you use the word Space Shooter 8 times and I used it 6 times, it doesn't mean you're going to do better. If mine gets 1,000 downloads and I get a bunch of 5-star reviews and I have backlinks, and it's going to rank better than yours if you only have 10 downloads. It's just the way that it is. So there's other things there too. Even though we would both have that ranking in there, at some point it's going to get saturated and you're going to fall off of that. And again, if somebody else thinks differently, let me know. Code with ABHI says, this is my first app which I launched in the Play Store. Everything looks good, but I could not do the screenshots properly. Can you please tell me how to take the screenshots properly for the first app store? So yeah, so I'm looking at the, this is like I was just saying, to me it looks like you resize the screenshots, which is normal. I have these commands. Let me see if I can find it. Like in Evernote, I have, let me just show you here in a second. I'll show you my screen in a second here. Like there's this one Evernote file that I always go to. I'm going to show you my screen in a second, so just want to make sure I don't have anything that's private on there. So I've got this Evernote file that I always open up, where I'm like, if I'm resizing for iOS or Android, I have the portrait iPhone or whatever, so I'll just go through, open up the terminal, and then convert all the JPEGs or the PNGs to that size, and then that way I get them right. A lot of times, if I export from the emulator, especially for the iOS side, Android is not so big a difference. If I do that, then if the screen size is wrong, then it won't let you update it. Sometimes the emulator will export the images, like they'll export the images and the size is off by a couple pixels, and iTunes won't even let you, or App Store Connect won't even let you upload them, which is infuriating. So I have to go through and resize them all, and I used to open them all up in Photoshop and do them, but now I just put them all in a folder and then run these commands and just resize everything in that folder for iPhone for the different sizes that come through. So, and to me, it looks like you did the same kind of thing, except you got the width and the height wrong when you did it. Actually, let's go back to the screen share to show what that is. So to me, it looks like this is a portrait and it's resized to landscape. That's what it looks like to me. Right. In fact, I'm almost certain of the fact that you've got the width and the height confused when you did that. Either that or it's stretching it for you, which would be weird. Let's see. Retro Portal Studio says, thank you for your review. What is the problem I'm dealing with? Not able to market that much. It seems to require loads. Oh, wait. Sorry, I lost my place. Seems to require a long-term Google Ads campaign to increase downloads. I think it's really just a case of you're gonna, if it's crowded and you don't know how people are gonna find it, then it's like any product. Like if I release a product and let's say I release an entirely, let's say I'm in the grocery store, let's say I'm in the biggest Walmart in the world, and I release a new kind of peanut butter. Right, I have to think, how are people going to find my peanut butter and how's it going to stand out from the rest? First of all, I have to have the words peanut butter in the title so it gets put into the right section. So if somebody's searching for peanut butter, it's there with all the other peanut butters. That's the first thing, because that's what they're going to be looking for, because at least the user knows they need peanut butter. If you create a completely new thing that's like doesn't exist before, they're not even going to know to look for it. In that case, you have to have an advertising campaign to do it. But let's say I created an entirely new type of peanut butter, and I'm hoping that Walmart puts it at eye level and it's right there in front of them and it pushes everything out of the way and it stands out to them. But the likelihood is, because it's new, they're going to put it, if they stock it at all, they're going to put it down at the bottom, and you're just going to have to stand up it's going to have to grab their attention some way, because they're looking at the known brands that they've been buying the whole time, or the ones that everybody else buys, and they're not sure about this new one. So you have to think, how you're going to stand out, how you're going to be different. And it's the same with the App Store. They're going to be searching on something. The users are going to be looking for something, and if they're not looking for it, you have to advertise. And that's, that's just the way. So, and you have another one here. We'll do one more here from you, Retro Studio, but I want to be able to get to everybody else's here too, because I know it's already been an hour. So we'll do this one really quick and just have a quick look at this. Is the second one from Retro Portal Studio. And let's share the screen. This is Conquest, a confessions made interesting, chat and earn. So all confessions, easy posting, set up your profile, instant messages. Okay, so let's... All right. Okay, so this is the thing, the features and the benefits. So fun begins here. So we look at the keywords in the first one, but I would think that the confessions made interesting. I think confessions by their very own are interesting. If they're confessions, then it's going to be something that someone wants to share in secret, and that's going to be the lure, right? You know what? I don't think as a user I'm going to say, you know what, this looks intriguing. I wonder what people are saying on here. So the first thing I'm gonna look for is what's the first confession on here, and I think this would be the kind of thing I'd be interested in. If I'm going to be lured in, I'll be thinking, what kind of confessions? What's on here? And what I see here is a bunch of emojis, and the text is really small, right? So I have thousands of memories related to you, but I will not share here. So already you're saying I will not share it here, just a glance, right? I would think it would be something a bit more secret. So that would just be me, and that would be if if you get to this page. And the second thing, which is I would say I want to read all these confessions, but not if it's not easy to post, right? Which you have easy posting, which it sounds like yeah, you kind of would hope it'd be easy posting. That you wouldn't assume it'd be hard to post. It's almost like saying like our car is safe, right? We weren't concerned about it being safe until now, right? So I think that's just my opinion. The rest of you guys, let Retro Portal Studio know what you think there. Let's see. Android Studio lets you record video now, much higher resolution. Cool. Renzo Capola. Hey Renzo, how's it going? These are some great presentations. How good are your conversion rates? Oh, are you talking to me? Let's see. Yanka Belarus says, please tell me how to build video for apps page on store. Okay, I'm not sure what how to create an app video. I think I've done one on that. I think I've done a video on that before. So this one is Tom Franson's app, created about 5 years ago. So let's have a look at this one. And this one, and again, all of this stuff, every app that we look at, and I will share my opinions and you guys share your opinions, but it really is a case of testing what's there. So Webton, Midgen volleyball, Midgen, no, is this, okay, so translated, oh, so it's in another language. So, okay, Tom, so you have it in a language, but you don't have it translated into English, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's just, so it's done into, what language is this? I should, so, I mean, one thing you might want to consider, Tom, is having it in multi-language, because people will be searching for things. I could see here that we've got Team Webton. So I suppose it would be what language it's in, but you 50,000 plus installs. Yeah, you don't need any help, Tom. You sound like you're doing all right. Looks like you're doing pretty well here. Yeah, I think it's and third. Yeah, I think it looks like you're doing okay here. Let's see. Live for Tech says, or Live for Tech. Live for Tech says, hello, I'm a bit late today. That's all right. Glad you can make it. Tom says, I'm going to create a new version for the National Volleyball Association in the Netherlands using Ionic 4. Cool. All right, cool. Yeah, I've been talking with some of the people at Ionic this week. I mean, one of my more popular videos is where I was talking about why I'm not using Ionic, and we've been talking about, they've been saying, look, people don't have trouble with Ionic. What you're saying there is not true. So I'm going to hopefully in the next week or so release a video where they're going to give me some statistics so I can say, okay, maybe Ionic's not so bad, but I've used Ionic a lot in the past, so kind of feel a bit bad about that. But let's see. Chordfunk says, Eric, you can record your screen directly on your iPhone. Use Modazen for Android. Works great. Oh, okay. Yeah, can I record it directly on my iPhone? I can record video? I should know how to do that. Smash Highlight says, hi, Eric. What's your approach to uploading iOS apps on behalf of a client? Do you use their login or ask the client to add you as a member? Thanks. Good question, Smash Highlights. Always get them to add you as a user, right? You do not want their login. It's a pain. And now with now they're forcing the dual authentication. It's just a pain to get their logins. I've had developers even now, like in India, say, oh, can you give us your Google Play login? Or can you give us your Amazon login? I'm like, no, it gets into too much stuff. So it's better because they can remove the privileges from you. They can limit the amount of, I mean, it's better for you because you still have visibility into it. The problem is you have to make sure they give you the right permissions, and they just recently changed a lot of that. Like I recently had to go to a client and say, okay, add me as app manager. Right? She added me as app manager, and then I was like, oh, I can't create a certificate. Can you add me as this? All right, just add me as admin. Right? So adds me as admin, but the better part on their side, it's less risky on their side, because if for whatever reason we fall out, they could just remove me and they don't have to change all their passwords. I'm not impersonating them. We're not going to have the dual authentication. We'll have to say, did you get a number show up on your other device? So it's just easier to do that. And that's what it's built for. It used to be, I can remember when before they had that, and now it's just a case of, and it's also a pain to have to log out of one and log into another. It's better if you just go up into the corner, select which account you do, right? It's just so much easier. Jay Matthew, hey, how's it going? Hey, Eric, sorry I'm late. If you already answered this, just skip it. But what did you think about Google I/O? Did anything new stick out to you? It was the ratings on the apps that stuck out to me the most. And I'm a bit late on Jay. I'm a bit late on the on Google I/O. I need to watch a bunch of stuff, but I think I'm sold on the Google Pixel 3a. I just need to make sure I have enough money to get one, but I need another. I'm going to need another device here soon. Yeah, it's I think that was one I was sold on. And in terms of development, I think there was a lot of things. Like on the Flutter side, I didn't see anything that I thought was groundbreaking because we knew about desktop on Flutter, and dark mode seemed like it'd be kind of cool. But like I've never been a big dark mode user, but I'm thinking, how am I gonna put this into my apps? Do I need to put it into my apps? If I don't, will people complain? That kind of stuff. So I don't have too much to say on it just yet. The main thing is that they're changing the ratings and making it weighted more towards the more recent ratings, so that it'll be better for new developers, I think. Rod Ron says, hey, Eric, need a quick development for a game. I think it's better to use BuildBox Plus. It's without coding. Yeah, I mean, you might find it easier to learn how to code. I mean, I've never used BuildBox, so I don't really know. But I think you just check to make sure that you have access to all that. So Hawk says, hi, could you look at my app and App Annie again too? All right. You guys can set up your own App Annie accounts here, right? It's not, I don't have a paid account. I just have the free account. But we'll have a look at this for Hawk. This is his application, which is, let's open up a new tab. Pull-up coach. Oh yeah, pull-up coach. Pull-up coach. Did you change the icon? All right, it's rendering. Change the icon? Nope. Okay. Let's see. So we've got that. Is this these are new screenshots. Is that done on purpose? A woman on there. Let's see. So let's have a look at Armstrong Plus. We'll go back to App Annie. So we're looking at I always look at the US because I think it's better. Pull-up bar. Pull-ups. Oh wait, pull-ups 26, 20. This can't be right, can it? What did you do? Wow, Hawk, this looks really, really good. What did you do, man? So last week, I think, did we look at this last week? So you're ranking number 19 for pull-up bar. If you have a pull-up bar, you might be doing it. Pull-ups, pull-ups, 26, 27. I mean, it's 26. I mean, 26 is still a point where you'd have to scroll down quite a bit to see it. However, I'm pretty impressed. So if we go to pull-ups, so 26. Hang on a second. So I'm in the US. I'm in the UK rather. So it might be a little bit different than 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why am I not seeing it? Is it in the UK? Well, maybe in the UK it would be chin-ups, maybe. Oh, here we go. There it is. Okay, cool. So, all right. I think it looks pretty good to me. Let's see. Jay Matthew says, I changed my email address and now I need to change my email address on Android Dev Console, but can't find where to do this. And Google search says I can't change it. Any ideas? Yeah, I don't know, because it's a Google, like it's a Gmail one. I would imagine it'd be really hard. Like I have the email address I use to log in to all G Suite and Google Play and everything is not the one that I normally use. I normally use an Overpass one, but it's like it's another domain. It's ruli.co.uk, which is when I originally set it up, and because I didn't want to use Overpass because I was just testing it out, and then I found out how I was locked into using that domain, so I have to use the other one as an add-on domain. But Rodrigo says, what's your opinion on the new rating system? So I talk about that one tomorrow, Rodrigo, on the video. So it's focused more on recent reviews. I think it's great because if your app better recently it will increase your rating faster. And I think it's true. I think it's one of the problems we have with the App Store, the Play Store rather, any App Store, is the old legacy apps that just, they've got millions of downloads and millions of reviews, or thousands, hundreds of thousands of reviews, and you just can't knock them off their top spot, right? Even if they decline, even if yours is far better, right? So if yours is able to get better reviews lately, then it should be able to move up the ranks. I think it makes a lot of sense. Bizwajit says, thanks Eric for looking at my keywords for Dark Space Legends. I'm currently working on improving gameplay of my game. Screenshots will be updated and text and promo video will be added. Cool. Bash commands convert is from ImageMagick. That's right, it is ImageMagick that I had to install. Cyprian Turku says, how much are you making per month these days? These days it's of app ads. So per month from ads from AdMob, it's about, last month was 2,200 or something, like 2,200 and something. I would show you the stats, but then I can't show you the RPMs. I'm not allowed to show the RPMs. But yeah, that's what it was just from AdMob. That doesn't include the other stuff. What about purchases? Oh, I have to look at my purchases. I have a daily revenue thing. Let's have a look at this. Let's open up on Google Drive. We can have a quick look at it. And again, it's not great. I mean, I think. Okay, so every day, Rowena on my team goes and compiles this data, and she makes sure that the daily revenue report is updated for me. And I haven't looked at it in a few weeks. Don't tell her. All right, so let's have a look. Share my screen. So this is in the recent. This is this week, and we don't have all the stats yet. But App 11, I think we turned off App 11, Facebook, and we turned off Facebook. Can you guys see that? And so this is AdMob. AdMob is 115, 113, whatever. Oh no, this is AdMob. So 73, so 68. So it's not really that. Some days are better than others, but it's kind of like, huh. Whereas before, like a year ago was like 100 a day. Google Wallet minus the minus the 30% is like 39. So this has actually gone up because I raised the price on some of my net purchases, and iTunes is still about that. So it's always about 110 a day. And we go through these slumps. So this is March, May. If I look at April, and the pink here is if it's below, I think 120. It's like always below 120 lately, like in the last few months. So it's kind of, we're sliding, and this is like, get back on my game. I get my mojo back. So yeah, we had one day where it was 152, which was cool, back in March. So that's where it is. That's where it is now. So I'm pretty sure I can show you that without any trouble. And I'm not going to say which app that's all from, because every time I do, there's a bunch of copycats. So let's see. Luke Film says, hey Eric. Hey Luke, how's it going? Cyprian says, I recently quit my job as a React developer and I'm going to build Flutter apps. What do you think? Worst approach ever? Dude, go all in. I think tread carefully. I mean, because the App Store is difficult if that's what you're going to do. But if you're going to do, I think if you're going to take on client work, and then at least you can do that, you have the money coming in while you do build your application, because it's not going to be easy just to put something on the App Store and have it be a runaway hit. It took me a while to get the revenue numbers up, and even then, I mean, I know for a lot of you guys it'd be like, I could live off that, and I wish I could. So I still do client work to make ends meet, and still stuff coming through. So. But no, I think Cyprian. I think do what the downside of doing it now is that it might not work. The upside is you'll know whether it works or not. Whereas if you don't do it, you'll never know, and you always think that'll be the big regret. I should have done that back when it was going to work, but you don't know if it's going to or not. So you have to take that. You have to take that scary step. So, and I know what that's like. Bruno Eliodoro Rosa says, hello Eric, hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty well, thanks. So my question to you, I'm using AdWords to improve my app installs. I'd like to know which platform you use to advertise your iOS apps, like AdWords for iOS. Hope you get it. So I use AdWords so that it goes through AdMob, and the only reason I do that is so that I can have a low eCPM. Like if I could do I always go like the lowest I can, like 1 cent per click, and then just like no impressions, and then I'll go to 2 cents per click, and then I'll get some impressions, and eventually I'll start getting the bit where I have low installs. Now, that I don't know if that's a good strategy or not. It's just I'm always cautious about not spending. Like if my cost per user is $3 and my revenue per user is 10 cents, then it's not sustainable otherwise. So the ideal situation would be go onto Facebook and then create a perfectly targeted ad towards the people who would be interested in your application. But a lot of times it's too expensive to do that. Now, if you're charging enough, like if you have subscriptions and stuff, go ahead, right? Don't go that route. You know, if your average revenue per user is like decent, like $3 or $4, then you can spend whatever. You could spend money on advertising and properly target it. But for me, it's always just I just need numbers. Now, the thing that scares me about putting ads through AdMob is every time you read something about the fake clickers or all the people out there trying to game the system, you wonder how many of these people who are actually clicking on these ads are actual, like they're going to my app and they're going to download it. So you have to keep an eye on that too. Don't just look at the click-through rate, look at the install rate. And there's other things like if you use Facebook and you use a Facebook SDK, you could track the whole process. And I think you could do that, like you could track all the way from who sees the ad to who downloads it and get all those stats and everything. But I've never done that on using AdSense or AdMob. So let's see. Flutter with butter. Flutter with butter. Such a nutter. All right, let's look at Flutter with butter. Just said a game I made. So let's have a look at this. Wait, did I miss this? So we're gonna look at this. We're gonna look at this app from Flutter with butter. Flutter with butter. What language did you use to make this app? Let's see. So I assume this is done in Flutter. Oh, nice. Oh, okay. Let's see. Wall Roach HD wallpapers. Wall Roach. Actually, I really like that name. Like such an unexpected name. All right, so Wall Roach. Let's see, Wall Roach. From now on, you don't need to go anywhere for Ultra HD wallpapers. Updated daily, gorgeous. So I like these screenshots. Countless breathtaking HD wallpapers hand cut on your phone. Categories to make you browsing easy for you. I think this looks pretty cool. This is done in Flutter. Can you do a wall? I've never actually downloaded a wallpaper app. I know very little about how they work. I mean, can you do a wallpaper in Flutter? A wallpaper app in Flutter? Cool. So you've got, let's see, how we do? We got 926 reviews. That's really cool. I mean, you're 3.8, so you've got a lot of 1 stars, but you've got more 4 stars. This looks a lot like mine. Never loaded wallpapers now for 3 months. I think you should probably look at useless app virus alert. Okay, I get this a lot. So if you do not have a virus in your app, and I'm assuming you don't, you should respond to that review immediately, because that's the first thing I see when I look at this. I see virus alert. I get that from time to time. I'll get somebody just say, this app has a virus, right? Or whatever. They'll say something like that. So the best thing you can do is have something underneath it saying, look, I assure you there's no virus. If you think there's a virus, please let me know, but we developed it ourselves and everything like that. Because, and I don't know what the motivation is. Maybe they actually think there's a virus. Maybe they think they look at the permissions and assume there's probably a virus. Maybe it could be any reason why somebody would think that. But see, that's been upvoted a couple times too. That's got 2 upvotes. So you need to respond to that review, Flutter with butter. That's just my opinion. I like the way that this looks, but you've got 50,000 plus installs. That looks awesome. So it doesn't look like you need too much help there. Oh yeah, so Red Wings Interactive. Cool. I think that looks cool. That looks cool to me. What do the rest of you guys think? And I'm going to go, let's see. Okay, so let's see. Horace Bogdan says, Cyprian, I hope you will work okay with the new endeavor. Have faith in your thing. Rodrigo, I'm sold on the Pixel 3a. I'm going to get a Pixel 3a. Let's see. Wi-Fi Blocker says, I got a free Google Home pad with my Pixel 3a and gonna eBay it, I think. Yeah, I got I've got the Google speaker. Google gives away some cool stuff. They once sent me a Chromebook. So I have this Chromebook which my kids use, but they get because all I had to do was listen to a presentation on Google Cloud Platform. And I do use a Chromebook from time to time just because it's in the living room. And like if I just need to respond to emails, I have my iPad with me. I'm terrible about answering emails with my phone. So, but that's the only thing I use it for. Let's see. So Luke Film says, here's my first game. And we're going to look at Luke Film's game here. All right, let's see. So this is a game by Luke Films called Infinity Runner Endless Ball Runner game. Cool. 43 reviews. So you're getting some downloads here. I like the screenshots. Oh, you have a watch support? Hang on. You have watch support on this? Oh, that looks pretty cool. Infinity Runner Endless Ball game. So you're answering all reviews. That looks cool. 1,000+ installs. Okay. Let's see. Cool things. 5-star rating. This looks really good. I mean, so you're very honest with the. I was just waiting your reviews because we kind of stock like answers, so like we always say the same thing. But you're actually saying, I know it works. It's currently buggy on the smartwatches. I'm working to update mainly for the smartphone. So I think that's really cool. I think when you do release that update, when you fix the things on the smartwatch, you could go through and then respond to that, and he should get notified, and hopefully he'll change that review. So everybody leaves a bad review and you respond to it. I think if you go through and respond to it later saying this has been fixed, can you please look at it again? Hopefully they'll come back and have another look at it and give it another try, download the update, and they appreciate the fact that you listen to them specifically. We've had that happen. We've responded to reviews, like we've responded to like 1-star reviews and had them brought back up to 5-star reviews just because we listened to what they said. I'm not saying that happens all the time, but it has happened probably about half a dozen times in the last few years. So let's have a look at the video. I like this video. I like that. That's a really good video, Luke. I think I'm really pretty impressed with this. How's it do? Do you mind if I have a look at this on App Annie? Because I just think that's very good. Just in my personal opinion, again, opinions. Everyone's got one. Everyone thinks everyone else's stinks. I think it's I think it looks really polished. I think it looks really good. So Endless Ball Runner, you're number 1. Infinite Jumper, Infinity Runner, Infinitely Run. You are doing Infinity Run, Infinity Ball, Endless Runner Cube. You are doing pretty well. These would be like, if I had to guess what the keywords were, these would be the ones that I would suspect that you'd have to rank well for. So yeah, I think that's really cool. I think that's awesome, Luke Films. I'm kind of impressed. In fact, I'm kind of intimidated by you right now. Let's go back to the stream. Let's see. Oh, we got 3 minutes left. Oh, I just got a message from Neil over here saying we got 3 minutes left. Okay, we're gonna have to wrap things up here really quick. So no more questions. Let's wrap these things up. Sorry about that, Neil. I got messages going off all over the place. Johan for real says, hey, did you understand the new rating system in the Play Store? Yeah, kind of in a way. I mean, but it's like we don't know the algorithm. My assumption is that we don't know the algorithm. Like when I looked at it, there's going to be the more recent reviews are going to be weighted higher than the old reviews. So if you have an old app or an old version, and I'm wondering whether or not it's going to help to release more frequently with the new rating system. Um, Luke Film says trying to figure out some good keywords. I think, yeah, Luke, I'm not sure, because if that's not working, those are the really good keywords. But I don't really search for games, so I'm probably not the best person to say it. But let's see. Chord Funk, yo Eric, do you know if releasing the app on beta on Google Play has a positive effect on the app's position when releasing? I don't know, because I've never released an app on beta. I've done it for clients, but I've never done it on my own. Given that you actually rank well on the unreleased version, I'm surprised about that. Jacob Pumpy says, how many impressions do you approximately generate on earspy a month? I'm not sure. I'm going to give you an approximate. Let's see. Can't see my screen. I'm going to have a look here. So approximately, actually, no, I shouldn't say, because then you can guess my RPMs. It's a lot though. It's like I'm thinking 17 million, but let's wait till it's load up. Let's have a look. I'm sorry, I'm just loading up my screen to answer your question. But in the meantime, Yanka Belarus says, do you think it's possible to move my App Store business to the UK from another country and get a visa and become self-employed in the UK? I don't know. I'm not sure how the law works there. When I moved to the UK, it was 20 years ago, and I don't know if you've read about this. Political climate has changed a little bit there. So basically, so if I were to look at this per month, my impressions. So yeah, it's like 1 million. It's something like 1 million impressions a month. So I can't be more specific about those kind of things. Let's see. El Cyro 187. A little late today. What did I miss, Eric? Oh man, you missed it. We were doing some awesome stuff earlier. El Cyro 187. Remember that? Hey, remember that time when that guy came? Hey, remember when Brad Pitt walked in here? Why am I saying Brad Pitt? I'm trying to think of a famous person. I go straight for the handsome man. Maybe some Freudian thing there. Let's see. Forget everything I'm saying here. So this is what happens when the live stream goes too long. So we're just gonna try to go through the rest of these really quick. I'm sorry, guys. It's getting a bit late. Hey, highlights time. Hey, Eric. Obviously, you are an entrepreneur, but do you feel like one? Not really. I mean, when you look at people like, this is a good question, because you look at people who are true, honest salesmen, and they're always like, I'm thinking about Gary Vaynerchuk. Actually, I'm thinking of anyone who's like a pure salesman, and I'm not that, right? I'm like, I have trouble getting on the phone and making calls, or I'm like, oh, if I want to phone somebody, like I just rather build things and stuff. So I probably, when you look at, there's the different archetypes: the entrepreneur, the technician, the marketer, whatever. I'm probably more on the technician side. I mean, to be completely honest with you. And it's like, as much as I wish I could say, oh yeah, I'm a mover, I'm a shaker, you know, I'm the salesman, and I think I'm more technician, to be honest. So, and it's probably held me back a bit, right? At the same time, I like doing the technician stuff. I like how things work. Horace Bogdan says, I spent €25 on the bonus credit you get to the beginner Google Ads account, and I made back a whopping €4 through ads. Cool. Horace Bogdan, my game in Unity is C#. What do you think? I'll pick it up in the future. Let's see. Let's have a look. We're going to have to, yeah, so let me just do this thing. So we're going to look at this. This is for Horace Bogdan. And this is called Orange Explorer, classic retro puzzle platformer. We see the word retro a lot in games, and I'm wondering if is that good or is that bad? Because I've seen retro so often that I guess I just don't know what new looks like. So, so Horace, this looks cool to me. Let's have a look at the strummy guitar music. Oh, that's not so bad. You're actually using game music for it. Oh, you're actually using game sounds, so that sounds not so bad. That looks, I mean, it looks good to me. I'm wondering how it's going to stand out from the others, but you've got 7 reviews, 1,000+ installs. The icon might be a little bit busy, but and I'm trying to think what people would search for it on. So We can look at this a bit more in. We can look at this a bit more next week, but I think. I mean, the rest of you guys, what do you think about this? I'm sorry I have to go a little bit quick today. So, all right. So after, let me go back to the bottom. After now, we won't answer any more questions. So over now. So we're gonna look at Farouk Balan, and I'm sorry about it's just so Neil on my team, he was just saying you got 3 minutes left because he's like, I keep being told. You need to keep the live streams down to 1 hour, and then I just get lost in it. And mainly it's my own fault because I, blather on. I'm blather on. Just chat about stuff. All right, so HD wallpaper. So this is this Flutter with Butter is your competitor, Farouk. You guys can fight it out. So this is Alexa, be quiet. Let's see, HD wallpaper. So you've got the screenshot. So this is for Farouk. You got 1 review, so it looks like it's pretty new. It was released on yesterday, so we're not going to have a lot of data here to go by, but we've got 1 review. This application was made a while ago. So, I mean, I think the same thing. It's HD wallpaper. I would imagine that'd be really hard to rank for. If I was going to type in HD wallpaper in Google Play, what kind of results would I get? I would imagine I would get. Wait, hang on a second. So 4K Farouk, 4K. Okay, so they all look surprisingly similar to each other, actually. So that one, yeah, there's a theme here, like in terms of how wallpaper screenshots should look, isn't there? So I would imagine it'd be really hard to rank for this, Farouk, but you have to think about how you can get things on there. And because it's a wallpaper app, I wonder if that would be a case of just making sure that image there is different from the other, something that stands out because you have that there. And then also maybe have some description above the screenshots about what you could do and everything. I mean, because you're being able to completely personalize the phone and everything. So, and again, I'm looking at the English version, so it could be, as I can see, it's in another language. It could be like any other language. It ranks a lot better. So that would be my take on it. But everybody else, let Farouk know. It looks nice. It looks good, but I'm just wondering if it would be too crowded in that market. Let's see. Luke Films, it's hard to get a smooth 3D game on a smartwatch. I would imagine so. Christina Oliveira says, "Oi, now follow English." That's just what I was about to say. Viola Software says, "Flutter Butter, how much do you make with AdMob?" Okay. David Popovich, hey, how's it going, David? Let's see. 2 games that failed because I couldn't afford to market them. Yeah, I mean we are at the. I mean the let's see. So what Flutter with Butter says here is that the app market is all about initial marketing. I think my 2 games have failed because I couldn't afford to market them. I mean, it is more crowded now, but I think that's the whole thing. How do you get in front of people? And if there's some way that you can just get those initial eyeballs. This is one thing where doing an ad campaign, even if you lose money on the ad campaign, helps, is that at least you get the reviews and the ratings in, and it gives it the social proof. And also look at stuff like the backlinks and try to promote it through other ways rather than just search optimization, especially if it's really, really crowded. Let's see. Let's see. Rodrigo says, I was about to ask for the first time to look at my app. I think I'm just doing it. Christina Oliveira says, I'm not English. Neither am I. Hi, I'm not English. That's okay. Let's see. King Low. Hey, thanks for the live stream. Thanks, King Low. Thanks for showing up. Flutter with Butter says, now I get 10 to 20 downloads a day, and I've disabled the ads. Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, you're not going to get a lot of downloads, but I mean, 10 to 20 downloads is, I think a lot of people would say that's actually pretty, it's not pretty good. I mean, it's like, that's not what you want, but I mean, if you're not advertising, then you're getting something in there. Let's see. Luke Film says, thanks for the feedback. No problem. Let's see. Fatiha, hello, Fatiha. I know. Okay, so Yanka Belarus says, last question: how to stop being obsessed with money and stop fighting for bigger DAO and daily earnings? Thanks. Well, I think when you do, I know it sounds really cheesy, but I think your first thing is to create a good product. If you were a television producer, your thing would be like you could tell television shows that are based on this makes money and we're gonna copy what everyone else does so we make money on this. And you see ones that are created by television like producers or directors or actors that are just like, we're gonna tell a great story. And at some point you have to think, I want to create a really great app and a really great experience for my users. That's where it should start with, right? And then it's almost like I'm terrible about this. Well, I didn't think about how I was going to monetize until after I released, right? Really, I thought, well, we'll put ads in it, or after like development was done, and then it became like, oh, I guess we'll put ads in it. And I've got a lot of clients that way where we have meetings with them and it's like, how are you going to monetize this? And they haven't even thought about it. They're just like, they just want to put an app out there. But it's still a very important part. I'm not saying it's not important to make money. It is. Otherwise you can't make more apps. You can't focus on it, but it can't be the driving focus. Otherwise you have to realize that it's important, but it can't be the thing that leads it. Your users don't care about how much money you make. They just want a good experience. So let's see. And Viola, sorry. Make English puzzles. I like strumming guitar music. Do you really? I think it's just because I keep singing it everywhere. So sorry about that. I'm moving on to machine learning with Python, so no worries. I think, you know what, machine learning, again, I've talked about this before. This is like Flutter, where I thought, you know what, I'm gonna learn machine learning, and then it got really hard. Really. Like Flutter, I could get it, but like machine learning, it was like learning Hindi. When I learned Hindi, so some of you guys out there speak Hindi, probably, and I took a 10-week course on Hindi, and at first it was fun. Everything was so easy. It was like namaste, I can remember ekto teen charpam, whatever, and being able to count and say thank you, whatever. And then they got to the masculine, feminine, and constructing sentences, and it got really hard really fast. And that's what machine learning was like. It was seductive in the beginning, and then it was like, dude, this is way over my head. So let's see. Rav Ron says, any tips that can help new developers from getting their AdMob account from being banned? I just don't click on anything. Don't use the add test device. Put the add test device command in all of the times where you're rendering that browser. Like, just do it. And be careful, because sometimes that device ID will change, right? I have the same device for years, and I keep having to change the device ID because for whatever reason it changes from time to time, and it doesn't stay consistent. So even though it's in your code and you're like, oh, I know this is my test device, make sure you have it in there. And you should be able to tell it's a test device and do that. So Cyprian says, CH Development, thanks for a great live stream. Have a great evening. You too, Cyprian Turco. So this is last bit. I have zero GDPR experience, and since I'm making for Europe, what would you recommend GDPR pop-ups for AdMob? Use the AdMob plugin. There is one for it. There's the AdMob consent form. Do a search for AdMob consent form. All right, making it fun. Thanks again. Have a great weekend. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the live stream. It was really great. I know it's been an hour and 38 minutes. If you guys aren't sick of hearing my own voice, I am. So thanks very much for joining us. This is always it's like one of the most fun parts of my week is doing this. Sorry, wise prediction. I'm not gonna have time to get to your question. Let's see. Just really quickly, I'm building a platform to share betting tips powered by AI. Would you have any thoughts on that? Wise prediction. It sounds awesome. Sounds badass, but I don't have any tips on that. And anyway, thanks everybody for joining the live stream. I will talk to you guys again next week at this time. Well, an hour and 38 minutes before this time. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the normal Overpass Insights video. Thanks. Have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you later.
Taking this blindfold off to see what this life's all about.